98% of women who set health and fitness goals fail. This video is going to show you how to be in the top 2% who not only achieves her fitness goals, but surpasses them and keeps the results long term. So we are going to be using a framework called I Smarter Goal Framework. Now you may have heard of SMART goals, and it is a widely known, widely popular goal setting framework. It's pretty good, but it still has a 98% failure rate. This framework, the I Smarter Goals framework, builds and expands on SMART goals, but also swaps out some of the less useful, less impactful parts and replaces them with something much more powerful and effective. So before we dive into it, I want to quickly say I did not invent the framework. This was actually made by Dr. Kasey Jo, who is a PhD in human psychology, and she specializes in behavior change when it comes to fitness and nutrition. She is amazing. I really love her framework. However, I did add something to it. I added the I. So today we are essentially breaking down Kasey Jo's framework, putting my own little spin on it that I think will work best for my clients and the women I work with, and adding that very important first letter, the I. Because in my over a decade of coaching hundreds of women through fitness transformations, the one thing I know to be true now and forever is that your goals must be built around the identity that you are trying to create. We always have to start with identity, and that's exactly what the I stands for in this framework. Let me break down each letter for you. I is for identity-based. Before you set any goal, I want you to take a moment, whether you have a pad with you now, your phone, pen and paper, whatever works, take a moment and get real with yourself. What is the identity you are hoping to create and embody through this health and fitness goal you've set? If your goal is to lose weight, that's cool, that's probably healthy, it's probably great, but more importantly, who are you trying to become as you move towards that goal? Who is the version of you that lives in that body that has lost weight? Does she starve herself and overtrain? Does she speak poorly to herself? Does she think she needs to do extremes or hop on the next fad diet? Or does she eat to nourish, move to feel powerful, work out because she respects her body, and live in confidence as her set point? Think about it. Who is the woman that you are desiring to be as you move towards that goal? It really helps you set a goal that truly aligns with your deeper emotions and with your values in life. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to want to lose weight, but you need to dig a little deeper and look at why do you want to lose weight? What does that different, healthier version of you look like? How does she carry herself? Who is she? Because the woman you are when you've lost 40 pounds and kept it on is not going to be the same woman who is setting that goal in the first place. Get crystal clear on the identity, and then we'll jump through the rest of the framework. Next letter, S. So this one is kept from the original SMART goals. S stands for specific, and specific is great. I love this goal. If you don't know where you're going specifically, you are never going to get there. So just saying, I want to lose weight, I want to be healthier, that's really not going to get you anywhere fast. You need to know specifically what does that look like for you. Maybe it is, I'm going to drink 80 ounces of water a day. I'm going to make sure I have a fruit or a veggie on my plate. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. Pick something specific and claim it as your focal point. M stands for measurable. What gets measured gets managed and improved. If we are not measuring, again, it's very hard to gauge where we're going, how close we are to getting there. Are we doing the right things if we're not measuring anything at all? You don't need to obsessively track every calorie, but you do need a way to gauge your progress. Use a calendar to mark your workouts, use a tracking app like Chronometer, track your steps, pick what makes sense for you, but make sure you are measuring your steps towards your goal. This is going to increase motivation, accountability, and inner drive to want to do the thing. A is for additive. So this is where Kasey Jo actually changed. She swapped out the A for a better one. The original A in SMART goals is attainable, which gets a little boring. It's a little stuffy. Also, what's attainable? That's going to be totally different person to person. What might be attainable at one season in your life is not attainable in the next. I could go on and on and on. However, the A stands for additive, meaning this goal is actually adding to and enriching your life not based on restriction or extremes. And I love this one. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. This is totally how I coach my clients, that fitness should add to your life. It should never take away. If we base our goals on restriction, we are going to end up with a punitive, guilty, negative, self-defeating mindset. However, if we make our goals about adding more quality of life to our days, we are going to get actually addicted to them. We're going to fall in love with the process, making it so much easier to get to that goal and beyond. So I love this A. A is for additive. How does this goal add to your life? Not just in the long term, but in the day-to-day mundane routine. This really makes fitness more fun, more empowering, and way more motivating to stick to. Now the R is for rewarding, also swapped out by Kasey Jo. The original R in SMART goals is for realistic, which is basically just a repetition of attainable. Again, super boring. Realistic looks different for everyone. Your goals should be a little bit challenging. They should be a little different than your current reality, right? So realistic is not the best R to have in there. Kasey swapped it out with rewarding, and I back this one up, and this is really very similar to additive. Your goals, as you take steps towards them, should feel instantly rewarding, whether that is your mood improving after a workout, your digestion improving after improving your nutrition, your mental health improving as you set up a schedule that really gets you back in touch with your body and your health. Again, this is so much about your mindset around the goal. If your goal is just to lose weight, you want to do it as quickly, as drastically as possible, you could be doing it in a way that is really not additive and not rewarding. So it's so important to flip the script, make these steps towards your goal empowering for you to take. Way more likely to stick to them and actually enjoy the process. Now T in the original SMART goals was for time bound. In this revised version that we're doing today, it is for timely. And I love this one, also from Kasey Jo. This is looking at the season of life that you're in, your realistic day-to-day schedule, and also any events coming up, anything that is really intrinsically or externally motivating you right now. So make sure your goals are timely. If you have a wedding coming up, if you have a birthday coming up, if you have a holiday coming up, that could be a really motivating, short-term deadline that, hey, I want to look and feel like $1 million at this exact event. So it is timely in that way, but we're also looking at timely as in realistic for this season of your life. If you have little kids or older kids, you're driving them around, you're dealing with a toddler, you're not sleeping, you need to make sure your goals make sense for where you're at in life. So I love that T, we're keeping that T. Now the E and the R were added by Kasey. The E stands for efficacy. Efficacy simply means this is your ability to believe in yourself and to persevere through this goal. And the way that Kasey states it, really, I love. She says that you can't just set yourself up to believe in yourself when the times are good, when everything's running smoothly, but really self-efficacy is more like a skill of being realistic with yourself and preparing yourself for the obstacles that are going to come along the way. So knowing that there are going to be challenges, knowing that you might start to slip back into old patterns, knowing that there are going to be things that pop up and trip you up, knowing that life will life. As I always say to clients, we need to have a plan for when life is lifing. And the skill of developing self-efficacy is having a plan for yourself and really being prepared for those times where you do have ups and downs, where things might fall off for a week and you need to, be a little more flexible or practice some grace with yourself, or maybe alter the plan a little bit and be okay with that. That is a huge skill to develop, and I love this E. It is so important in our goals to be realistic and grounded in reality. Now the R is for reverse engineer. Start with the vision, then break it up backwards into steps. Then break those into daily habits. You want to feel strong, lean, and confident by the fall. What does that look like day to day, week to week? Does that mean you're committing to 3 strength workouts, to 120 grams of protein a day, to 80 ounces of water? Breaking that long-term goal and that long-term identity-driven vision into daily habits and steps. Massive transformations do not just happen out of nowhere. They are built on the boring, tiny little day-to-day actions done on repeat. So here's what to do next. If you haven't been already writing along with this, Grab a pen and paper, grab your phone, press replay on this video, and go through the exercise thinking of what applies to you. What is the identity you're building, and how can we fit it into this I Smarter framework to get you to success more easily and more efficiently than ever before? Choose the identity, map the vision, choose the identity, build the vision, map out the habits, and plan for the obstacles. Then hold yourself accountable. Share this in the Facebook group, put it on a sticky note, put it on your mirror, put it on your fridge, put it on your phone home screen. Make sure it's in your face so you're thinking about it and you're remembering why this is so important to you. And then celebrate you being in that top 2% of women that actually achieve their goals.